Okay, it should be live. Hey everybody, we're just getting set up. We are having some technical difficulties. Um, you know, it happens. It happens in this day and age. So I am Michelle Beckley, just getting set up here. Gonna log in so that I can see if you guys have any questions. And we will be doing some of these muffins to, oh gosh, to make sure I can tell that you guys can hear me. Okay, so far nobody's logged in, which is probably good because we are having all kinds of technical difficulties this afternoon. Oh, we got some people logging in. Thank you guys. If you have any comments, just put them in the bottom. You can get our cookbook in the e-file. It's an ebook that I have written actually probably in the late 1990s, early 2000, about 20 years ago. I have done all the recipes and we are going to get started and doing some Valentine's recipes. If you've got the book, if you go to page 7, if you want to follow along with what I'm doing, I'm going to show you guys how to alter a recipe if you want to change it up for what you've got in the house. And today we are doing Valentine's recipes. So we're doing strawberries instead of carrots and everything. If you want to leave any comments or anything, just go ahead and do so, and I will be checking them as we can. And I'm gonna go ahead and let's see, what does that say? So we are going to have more recipes. You can go to kookshop.com, download the book. We've got it at a nominal price, and it is an ebook. So you guys, every single one of the recipes has been tried and tested and adapted for birds. So if you have any questions while we're going along, let me know, and I am going to get started here. I'm going to give you guys a few minutes to all log on, and then we will get to going. I see that we've got a thumbs up from somebody. Thank you very much. And if you have any comments or questions as I'm going, just let me know. You can hear my cockatiels in the background because they're just, fun. And it has been a day, guys. How about you? Have you guys had a day? Okay. So what we're doing today is I am going to modify Gigi's peanut butter muffins, and it is on page 7 of Cooking with the Kooks. And if you guys don't bake and you want to buy the muffins, you can buy them at the store because that's what I do. I sell them afterwards because my cockatiels couldn't possibly eat the amount of muffins that I bake. And I do have the comments in here, so you can throw a comment on the screen, and I am happy to see. I see there's multiple people watching, so let's get started. So what you're going to do, I'm going to make I'm going to double up the recipe because I'm going to make a bunch of these guys because these are one of the most popular that we make, the Valentine's ones. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take 2 cups of all-purpose flour, put it in my mixer here. Of course, I don't have my baking cups organized, but we're going to, you know what? The good news is they're all right here, and you can hear me because I got my speaker on, or my microphone. I can't even talk today. Okay, so we're going to do 2 cups of all-purpose flour, and we're just going to toss it in here. We've got whole wheat coming too, but we're going to do 2 cups of all-purpose. And you know what? If you run out of all-purpose and you need to do more whole wheat, you know what? The birds are just fine with that. You can play with these recipes. They're really using them kind of for foraging, so they are just going to make, they tear them up and do all kinds of stuff. But we do have 2 cups of flour here, so we're going to put the 2 cups of flour in our mixer. There you go. Got 2 cups of flour, and then I'm making a big mess because that's what I do. And then we have, again, you guys, if you have any questions while I'm going, just put them in the comments and I will read along as we go. So then we have 3/4 cup of whole wheat flour, and we are following the baseline recipe. So whenever you're adapting some of these recipes, you want to make sure that the base is pretty much it needs to be, the base needs to be correct. So 3/4, we're doubling that up. So that will be 1.5 cups of whole wheat flour. So we're going to stick that in there. These ones are some of our healthier muffins, sort of. And we're gonna instead of using carrots, we're gonna use strawberries. And I do get the organic strawberries. They are one of the fruits and vegetables that you really should use organic. You can see I'm making a big mess with the flour today. That's okay. And we are going to use 1/4 cup of wheat germ. So that is 1/2 cup, which, where's my 1/2 cup? So we're going to use 1/2 cup of wheat germ. And I had used all my wheat germ, guys. I had to go buy fresh new wheat germ. So we're going to use 1/2 cup of wheat germ for these. Okay. And we have, so in our instructions, it says mix together our flour, baking powder, wheat germ, and we're going to blend it. So we are going to get our baking powder, which is 2.5 teaspoons. And make sure when you're doing these that you do teaspoons, that you don't mess up and do tablespoons. So make sure you use the teaspoon measurement, not the tablespoon. And I say that from experience. Yeah. Still don't have any questions, no comments. I'm looking. So far, there's no questions or comments. We do have a ton of you guys watching today. That's so great. It's so important to make sure that we keep our birds entertained. And you guys, you can hear my cockatiels in the background. Oh, I forgot to turn the oven on. So first thing you should do is turn your oven on. This one is 400. So check your ovens. So make sure that, hold on, 2.5. So I got to do 5 of these. So I've just done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like I said, I'm doubling the recipe because I'm making them for a lot. Though this one recipe does make a lot if you just have one bird. You can double the recipe and then freeze them. They do freeze very well. So we got that. So we're just going to go ahead and stir this around. Just turn it on low. What's going on with my mixer? Oh, we have a problem. I have not used this mixer in there we go. Oh, goodness. Okay. Had not turned the mixer on in a while. It's not wanting to mix. There we go. Okay. Have not used my mixer in a while. Okay. So we're just going to do a little bit. You guys, my kitchen is going to be such a mess when we get done with this. It's kind of funny. Not going to laugh. The birds will love these muffins. Okay. So we did that. We kind of mixed all those in. So we're going to blend the peanut butter. So I got the low sugar Skippy, no sugar added, and I looked on the ingredients and it's just got peanuts, palm oil, and a little bit of salt. So, I go ahead and did that one. So we are going to do 1 cup of peanut butter and put that in there. So Gigi was my severe macaw that I had from about 1989 to, I think he died. I had purchased the store. So I want to say he died in like 2007. He had a brain tumor. I mean, they just get diseases. We didn't even know he had it. But when we did the necropsy, and necropsy is the autopsy for birds, yeah, it was really sad. But he was a great bird. He was one of the smaller macaws, but these were his favorite. So, I got these cockatiels. If you guys have been watching my social media, you'll see all these normal little cockatiels that I have flying around my house. And so I'm going to put the cup of peanut butter in and the applesauce. And today we are using strawberry applesauce because, Valentine's Day. So we put the cup of peanut butter in. This is 1/2 cup. Y'all, I'm going to have to put 2 of these in. I used the 1/2 cup one. Sorry, guys. This is what happens when you're trying to do everything at once. But we get this. We'll get it. So we're going to use almost a whole jar of peanut butter here. So we got it all going. So we're just going to get that in there. And then we're going to use the strawberry applesauce because we're doing Valentine's theme. So we're doing all pink and red today. And then we will clean. I'll be cleaning my kitchen afterwards because I'm a mess when I cook. How many of you guys are a mess when you cook? Leave me a comment. The funniest thing I've ever done, oh God, you guys. So it was right after my husband and I started dating, and I was doing Ironman triathlons at the time, and I used to eat a lot of beets, and I was making a beet soup, and I put it in my blender and didn't put the lid on, and the beets shot up, hit the ceiling. I was laughing so hard. I thought my husband was gonna, we weren't married at the time. I thought he was gonna end the relationship there, but luckily we're still dating. We're still together. Okay, so we're gonna do 4 tablespoons of the applesauce. And so I'm just using the strawberry applesauce because I want to get some pink going on in here. So we're going to do 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. It looks like it's the whole thing. So if you double the recipe, that's really easy. It's a whole container, little container. And this is 4 tablespoons. So we're going to do that. And then we're going to, and I'm going to tell you all of these recipes in this book. I have done all of these recipes multiple times. I've tested them all. Like I said, I wrote the book about 20 years ago. I've adapted it. I went through and did some stuff. I need to go through, and I'm going to fix up the bread machine. We were using a lot of bread machines back then, which we're not doing now. And, I haven't done anything. Okay, so we were just not hooked in. Okay, so we are going to mix together. So then we're going to applesauce. So then we're going to go ahead and there we go. We're going to let this get to it's kind of crumbled. So we're going to let it mix a little bit. And while this is mixing, I'm going to go ahead and put the strawberries. So I'm doing fresh organic strawberries, and I'm going to put them in the food processor. And I found that you always want to use it on low because it just pulverizes it too much. So we're just going to make them kind of chopped up here. And it says, so we're replacing the carrots. If you look at the recipe, it calls for carrots. So we're going to replace the carrots with peanut butter. It says 2 carrots, which is about half a cup. So we're going to use a cup of fresh strawberries. And so that says adapting the recipe to what we're doing today. So we've got, this is kind of now looking like a brown crumbly mess. If you know, kind of looks like brown sugar. I can't really take it off the mixer to show you. But yeah, so that's what you want it to look like. And when it's looking like that, then it's good. Remember, guys, your birds are going to be thankful for whatever you cook them. You do not have to be a chef. These recipes are super easy. They're pretty much foolproof. And they've been tested. And, if you burn them a little bit, you can just cut it off and give it to them. Always, when you're doing the papers, do not use the metal paper. My husband took all the papers with him because he probably cleaned them. But so we're just using the papers to line them. We're going to do they're pink. So we've got pink, and these are the mini muffins, which are also the mini muffin pans. If you're looking on Amazon, they are the candy holders. That's if you're looking for that, you want to do it. Now, if you looked at my other old, that's fine. If you looked at my old videos, I talked about how I couldn't find the Teflon-free pans, which I did find some of those. They just don't bake. I will tell you, they don't bake as well. And I think it's because I'm going to try some different ones. These ones are kind of closer together than my nonstick. I take my birds out. I turn the fan on. I crack a window. I never have birds in the kitchen while I'm cooking. So that is a tried and true rule. Do not have your birds in the kitchen. I'd say ever, especially when you're cooking. And I know a lot of you guys are free flying in your house. We go through the controversy of that. I'm trying these new guys. I haven't had new birds in 20 years, maybe 30 years. because all my birds just aged out and have since lived their lives, and now I'm in a place where I can get some new ones. So these 4 cockatiels I haven't had them, so I'm trying to do them free flying. It's been a challenge, not gonna lie. Okay, so we have got that in here. Now the recipe calls for, we are gonna add our carrots, our milk, eggs, and honey all at once, and then we're ready. Okay, so we are gonna put I'm gonna put the strawberries in last. I'm also going to add some Intune pellets, and I'm gonna use a little mini size, mainly because I had some samples that were mostly red and orange. There's a little bit of green in here, but it went with the Valentine's theme. And so we were trying to do everything red for Valentine's, red and pink. So we are gonna go ahead and put those in. So again, it is strawberries, milk, eggs, and honey. So we are going to, and I'm just going to see if you guys can see. You don't want them too pulverized. And oh wow, these smell good, you guys. This smells so good. Between the peanut butter and the strawberries, I never would have thought that would have been a good smell, but it's amazing. So we're going to put them in, and let me go ahead and I'm going to do, so that's half a cup. And we're going to go ahead and do a full cup. And, you know, I might just put all these strawberries in, because what am I going to do with them? So we may just have them. But these strawberries are pretty wet. So when you look at, when you have something that's really wet, though we're replacing carrots, which is also pretty wet. So that's not that huge of a deal. But I also have some of these freeze-dried strawberries. So we're going to add those too, just to add a little crunch. Because these are like foraging. We want these to be fun for the birds. We want them to have fun just destroying them, chewing up. I don't, you know, and whatever they eat is healthy for them. Oh, these are chunky. I should have thrown these in. With. I'm gonna crunch these up a bit so that they're kind of the same size. And I'm just gonna put a package of them in here. I mean, why not, guys? Why not? Okay, so there's that. I'm afraid to put all the strawberries in because it will make it where they won't bake. So that's the one thing. If you change the consistency of it up too much, then it won't bake. So I will use these. I'll probably use them for another something else. Okay, so let me put those over here, and we've got that. I'm going to throw the pellets in, because we do want them to be nutritious. Sometimes I put seed in, but today we're not going to have, these ones are going to be seed free and just have pellets. And I don't see any questions. Any questions or comments? Don't see any, guys. If you give me a thumbs up, make sure you share, follow, all the good stuff, because, you know, we're trying. Oh, and if you go on the website, you guys, I'm in the process of making some fun, like pillows and different things, because I've just been having fun. So doing all the digital stuff that you can do now, it's like it's opened a can of worms. So, okay, so I put some pellets. I'm going to go ahead and double up the pellets. Kind of want to put the rest of the strawberries in. So you can just bake them longer if you put, I think that's enough pellet. I mean, that's a lot of stuff in there. Okay. And you guys, I look at it, I'm going to show you what it looks like. I'm going to stop this. So I'm going to just not use my hand, but kind of show you. So you guys, if you can see just the consistency of that, I'm going to walk over to the camera so you can see, and hold it up so you can see the consistency here. So you guys, that's the consistency. So that's the strawberry, the peanut butter, everything's in there. And I just wanted to show you what the consistency is before I added the eggs and the milk and stuff. So that's what the consistency looks like. And you guys, my cockatiels are just whistling away. They're so happy. They're the happiest birds, you guys. Cockatiels are amazing. Anyways, so I'm going to just put them in there. So there we go. So let's make sure I have added everything, because sometimes I get distracted. So we've got flour, we got the white and the wheat germ, we got the baking powder, wheat germ, peanut butter, applesauce, carrots. Okay, so we're going to do milk, eggs, and honey. Okay, So we remember, if you guys have watched us before, we stick the eggs in a blender, and we go ahead, and I'm going to need the skim milk. Today we're going to just go ahead and use dairy milk. I did not have almond milk. You can use oat milk, almond milk, whatever. I've got skim milk. We're going to use that today. And this calls for 4 eggs. So I am going to blend them. And I have this nifty little blender that is perfect for this. Okay. So you want them to get the extra calcium. Like, we're trying to get these are like healthy muffins for our birds. So we're gonna make sure they get all of the healthy stuff. And this is like the best thing ever. So we're doing 4 eggs because of the recipe called for 2, and we're doubling, remember? And so we're gonna keep this stirring. Alrighty. Oh my gosh, you guys, so many people are watching. Thank you so much. Thank you for the love. I see we're getting some love today. It's good because it's Valentine's Day muffins. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and put the eggs in, and we want the little shell in there. Everything is in there, and that is going to get really sticky and gross. Okay, so then we got to put in 2 cups of skim milk. And we're going to rinse out our little blender. These are blend jets, if you guys want to know. I got it at Kohl's, but you can get them at Blend Jet. They have coupons all the time too. So we're going to use that milk just to rinse it up a little bit here. Peanut butter is starting to get it all. Y'all, I'm making the biggest mess. But better my kitchen than yours. Here we go. And put that in there. Okay. So we have all of that in there. So we're going to let that blend around a little bit. It's going to get a little bit wetter. And then we need a cup of honey. So I try to do local honey when I can. So I just bought this organic local honey. And, you know, we're going to go ahead and put a cup in here. Which I think this is a cup. No. Yeah. Okay. So then we got a cup of honey. And let me make sure that I have everything in here. So we have flour, white flour, whole wheat flour, wheat germ, baking powder, peanut butter, applesauce, strawberries, skim milk, eggs, and honey. Okay. All right, I'm gonna put this in here. I really feel like I'm really glad I'm looking at this, you guys. It's really, really liquidy. It's been a while since I made these ones. These ones are a little bit more, I haven't had these ingredients in my house in a while, so I haven't made these ones. And the cornbread ones are really easy. So I've been making those lately. And I'm going to go ahead and straighten up a little bit. I don't see any comments. I didn't know you could give honey to birds. Yeah, you can use honey instead of sugar. I mean, I wouldn't give them raw honey. But yeah, you know, the problem is if you make these muffins and stuff, if you don't follow the recipes, they just won't come out very well. They won't make muffins. Those sometimes if they're kind of little hard things. Yeah. And my birds have had it for a long time. I mean, it's very little honey is in this mix. And then I try to stay away from sugar and everything else. But you can use the applesauce instead. We were substituted the applesauce instead of oil. And yeah, you can do that. So I am kind of trying to organize a little bit here so that I can start doing this. I'm going to blend this a little bit. And I'm going to go ahead, you guys, because I'm looking at this, it looks really liquidy. I'm going to go ahead and put the other thing of pellets in here, just to help kind of dry it up a little bit. But this one is a more liquidy than some of the other ones I've made. And I need to get some space here so that I can put them in the muffin pans. And yeah, Sherry, so you have raw honey from Round Rock. You can use that, Sherry, if you want to. You know, you got to use a little sugar or the bread won't rise. It won't rise correctly. I mean, it'll just, if you don't want to use the honey, you can just use, whatever. But yeah, birds can have a little bit of honey. And I mean, you guys, these muffins, if you watch your bird with muffins, they like shred them. They shred them everywhere. They really don't eat a whole lot of it. They're really just foraging. If you put the little seeds in there, and I just don't think we're going to see the red in here like I thought I was going to. This is going to be a nice little brown muffin, but that's okay. The thought was there, and I am going to go ahead and see if I can't get some of this stuff off of here. Okay. So, it looks like a chunky muffin is what we're looking like here. And I have some organic seeds I can pop in here, but I think we're going to stick this one. We're going to keep this one just a pellet. And the strawberries is making it pretty mushy. So making sure our oven is set. Okay, so I'm going to put these in. You're going to scoop them all in. We'll see if we have any other questions. Sherry likes to watch. Sherry, you watch everything. You're amazing. Thank you. We really appreciate that, Sherry. And anybody else, I was going to get the TikTok up today, but I just didn't. I was having some technical difficulties when we got started here, and that was just going to be too many. So we're on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter right now. So these ones are going to poof up quite a bit, so you want to make sure you leave some room. So you only want to fill it about 3/4 of the way full. And I am just going to go ahead and get started with these. God, they smell amazing, you guys. They smell like I've got this whole fresh strawberry peanut butter smell going, which you wouldn't think would smell good, but it is an amazing combination. It makes me want to take these strawberries and mix them with peanut butter and eat them, which I might be doing when I finish this. Have a little snack of strawberries and peanut butter, which sounds kind of weird, but yet I'm smelling it. It smells really good. See if there are comments. Music started going. Not sure what's going on there with that, but okay. We are going along here. And you guys have any questions? If you have any questions, throw them in the comment section while we're going, and then I can go ahead and answer them as soon as these are baking. And everybody watching, because I see that there's several of you guys don't comment much. You're very quiet. If you could tell me what kind of bird you have. I'm curious. Who's watching today and what kind of birds do you have? We're just baking away. Again, you can get, this is Gigi's peanut butter muffins, and these were his favorite. He liked them with I don't know if I ever used strawberries when I did him. Haven't made them in forever. He's been across the Rainbow Bridge quite a while ago. I don't know if I guess it's been about 10 years. I don't know. I know I have made them since, because they were his favorite. He used to make them all the time. I don't know if I ever made them with strawberries. His favorite were the peanut butter and carrot. He really liked the carrot. And yeah, he would do anything for cheese muffins. Yeah. Anyways, funny. He's a funny bird. He had about a 300 word vocabulary. He went to college with me. Lived in an apartment. Went out to California. When I lived in California, he lived in Houston with me. He traveled all over with me. He traveled well. A cat, on the other hand, was a hell swan. She did not travel well. That cat was horrible. That cat howled all the way from California to Texas when I was moving back here. And it was probably the most unpleasant 2 days in a car with a U-Haul. And Gigi was fine. He was just perfect. He just thought it was a party. So yeah. So we're just keeping these up. I'm gonna, as soon as I get these in the oven, I'm gonna answer any questions, talk to you guys. You know, it's just, you know, it's kind of fun to get them foraging, and if you're cooking the stuff yourself, it's better. I personally am not a fan of all the chop. I worry about it going bad, especially when you've chopped it all up like that. I've had, you know, my degrees in biomedical science, and so a lot of microbiology. So when I give bird stuff, I usually do them like the whole, I hardly ever chop that stuff. The only time I chop it is when I'm doing these muffins. And a lot of times these muffins, they're not eating very much of it. They're mostly just, it's mostly kind of a toy. They can forage and they eat some of it, but you know, it's mostly just fun. And I leave the paper on. I have some people peel the paper off. You do you. This is what works with that. What works in your household, what works with your bird. My birds like to chew up all the paper though, so I always leave them on. And you know, like I said, when you're cooking, always have your birds. Don't have your bird on your shoulder. Don't have your bird in the kitchen. I just don't let birds in the kitchen at all, ever. I don't think it's funny or making little funny things over Thanksgiving and Christmas. And it probably is because I get the calls of, oh my gosh, my bird fell in the frying pan, or oh my gosh, I didn't know that Teflon would kill my bird. And most of the time, if they get exposed to Teflon when it burns at that temperature, which is not that hot, you burn these muffins and these pans are going to get that hot. Now, if you're cooking and they're not burning, you're fine. But like I always have my exhaust fans on, crack the window, have the back door open, make sure everything's well ventilated when you're doing a lot of cooking. You got your birds in the house. Be careful with the pots and pans, careful with air fryers, waffle makers, Foreman grills, anything that has Teflon on it is not a go for bird households. Now the ceramic pans are good, but they don't last as long. So stainless steel, cast iron is the way to go. Okay, we are getting this all in here, and these muffins smell amazing, and they're not even in the oven yet. I can't wait to see what they smell in the oven. And by the way, give my husband a shout out because he put all these papers in while I was getting all this stuff ready. Oh gosh. Yeah, there's always one. There's always one muffin. I thought we were going to get through without having a muffin go spastic on me. But no. We got this one. Okay, I'm going to put these in. We're going to put them in because I know these are really a wet recipe because those strawberries were super juicy. I'm going to put them in for 25 minutes. The recipe says 20 to 25. I'm going to go on the longer end with them, but I am going to watch them. Hey Siri, set a timer for 20 minutes. So I'm going to check them at 20 minutes, And then, okay, so can we use organic sun butter? Is that sunflower seed, Cherry? Yeah, you can use whatever kind of butter. You can use almond butter. You can use any of the butters. I think that's sunflower butter. Yeah, that's fine. My bird just really likes peanut butter. So yeah, so looking at all the questions. Nobody else? So yeah, so now we're just gonna bake them for 20-25 minutes. It's really simple. So I just wanted to go through a little bit of, yeah, you should be able to use that. It's just you really want the consistency. That should be fine. And it may, it may make them fluffier or harder. It doesn't matter. It probably is going to do the same thing. You just that's fine. And you can use the crunchier flours. You don't have to use the all-purpose flour. You just need that much flour. If you want to just substitute wheat germ or whole wheat flour for the whole thing, whole wheat flour, you can do that. I did find on this recipe, because I have done that before, it doesn't get quite as fluffy if you don't use the white flour. So yeah, but you can do what you want. I know some people are allergic to peanuts, so they don't have peanut butter. You can use some, I've used almond butter. I've used almond butter before. You can play, so you just want to keep the quantities where we are, and something similar. Like instead of the carrots, I was using strawberries today. So I'm just using the same amount of 2 grated carrots. It's usually a half a cup. And whenever you see that in these recipes, I probably should change that to half a cup of grated carrot. But the 2 grated carrots works. Skim milk, you can use almond milk, which I usually use almond milk. I just didn't have any today. And I didn't catch it until after I had gone to the grocery store. And I would suggest that you whatever you use, honey, half a cup of honey, and that's just really because of the whole wheat flour. You kind of need that honey in there to kind of make it poofy. And the baking powder is just to get it to rise. These ones are pretty fluffy, if I remember. It's been a while since I made them. So, and like I've got these are the stainless steel pans. These were the cheaper ones. I'm going to tell you guys, if you bake a lot, get the more expensive ones. These ones are pretty, they don't heat very evenly. They're okay for what I'm using them for, but honestly, I'm kind of regretting. I wish I had bought the more expensive ones. But when 20 years ago when I was making all these muffins, you couldn't even find the ones that weren't, Amazon didn't exist then, and you couldn't find the ones that didn't have the Teflon on them. So my older ones have Teflon on them, but I make so many muffins that I didn't want to throw them out. And for a long time, it didn't matter because I didn't have any birds at home. But I do have my 4 cockatiels now. They're so cute. They kind of settled down. They've been kind of chilling. But yeah, just getting these ready for the next set. And these muffins. So, when you do these muffins, if you don't eat them right away, just freeze them, put them in the freezer, put them in a Ziploc bag or a silicone bag. I'm doing all the recycled. I'm trying not to use Ziploc bags. I'm using the silicone bags that I reuse. So just put them in that and throw them in the freezer. It'll stay probably about a year in the freezer. But we take them to the store. We stick them in the freezer. And if any of y'all don't bake and you just want to go buy some, John will have them at the store probably tomorrow because it's getting kind of late today. But yeah. So yeah, that's it. Any other questions? Can I use organic? Yeah, you can use whatever kind of milk you want to. I don't know. Lactose free should be fine. Whatever you want to use. I use this today. That's why I do these things, so I can tell you guys. The birds don't care. When you use like the milks, it does cook a little differently. Just know that ahead of time. But you're making them for your own birds. For you. All the different milks. I think sometimes people just get too afraid to try stuff. And what I found is, you know what? The birds are going to be happy with whatever you give them. So try it. You know, you could probably do broccoli in here if you wanted to. You could do sprouts. I've done that before. If you want to get some sprouts, shove them in here. You know, all kinds of stuff. I mean, you want to keep it different so they have variety. Now, there are a lot of different recipes in the book. I should have counted. I don't know how many there are. There's a ton of different muffin recipes. Now, I do have to say, this one is probably only going to make, these ones don't make as many muffins as the other ones do. So, looks like we're going to get about, looks like we're going to get 18 times 3, whatever that is. Don't have my math. They can tolerate lactose-free, that's what I'm concerned about. Yeah, you can do lactose-free, is fine. Birds are lactose intolerant anyway, so, you know, that's why I usually use the nut milks. But for the amount of what we're making here, there's not really enough milk in here to make a big, huge difference. Okay. So we are going to make that, and that's pretty much all of that. Made a mess on this one. Okay, I was kind of hoping that I would be done with this so y'all can see what we have. But... Hey Siri, how much time do we have?
There's a 20-minute timer.
Yeah. Okay. So we got 13 minutes, you guys. I don't know if I have 13 minutes of questions to answer. Yeah, birds are lactose intolerant. Yeah, so they're. You don't want to give them dairy too much at all. Most animals are lactose intolerant. So yeah, that's fine. That's actually better than, you know, the skim milk. So I use skim milk. I don't use whole milk when I bake with them. But yeah, so just remember this one doesn't make about, I should probably go through and write how many these make. But it depends. Some people will just put these in like a pan and just make a flat sheet and then cut them. Some people will make big muffins. You can even use the little bread things. You can just do whatever, you know, whatever content you want to. Whatever you want to do with your birds, whatever works for your household. You know, if you've got a lot of birds, sometimes the lists are easier. I like little muffins. We usually just make little muffins. Anything left over, my birds get them. So yeah. I mean, you can get fancy and put little things on top of them. But yeah, I'll take care of that. Okay, so I'm looking on here. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. I kind of went through everything. Just waiting for them to come out. I think my light on my oven is off. Yeah, it doesn't work. So yeah, we're just baking. They smell amazing. And then I have a messy kitchen. Any other questions? Does anybody else have any other questions? I think you're all gone for today. I'm going to go ahead and end this broadcast. We were just talking about, you know, fixing the muffins so that they're a little bit, do Valentine's ones. So mostly the paper is going to be red because the rest of these peanuts are pretty chunky. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and clean up. I don't see any other questions. And thank you, Sherry, for all your questions today. Sherry had a ton of questions, which really appreciate all those. Makes me happy because I'm not talking to myself, though. I talk to myself all the time, so it's not that surprising. So recap, bake for your birds because it's fun. Or you can buy these muffins at the store. You can call John or go online at kookshop.com. Our phone number's on there. You can call and text us. We can hold some for you. And these are peanut butter strawberry muffins. I have a ton of them, so if they made, this recipe doesn't make a ton. So yeah, we do have, I guess, 72 of them. I don't know. Anyways, 18 times 3, whatever that is. You guys have a good one. Stay safe. Keep your birds safe. Michelle at Kookaburra Bird Shop. Be sure and check out our cookbook, Cooking with the Kooks. Got all kinds of fun recipes in there. If you're really like, I forgot about all the bread machine recipes, I'm gonna probably have to go get a bread machine because I don't have one anymore. I forgot because they're easy. The bread machine recipes are really good for people who are working. If you want to just throw them in the bread machine and go on your merry way, and then you just slice them up and give them to your birds. And it's great foraging, keeps them entertained. We're always looking for things for them to do, and you can make it healthy for them as well. Give them some spice in their life. So thank you guys. I really appreciate it. Thank you for all of the likes. I see that we've had like a ton of people watching these baking things. People love watching our baking videos. They go on forever. But anyways, you guys have a great one, and I will catch you again. I'm sure I'm going to do some others. Bye.